Hello everyone. Children, today we will start our next chapter, that is Freedom of India, chapter 14. In the previous chapter we have learned about the revolt of 1857. It awakened the Indian people and made them realize that the importance of freedom. People belonging to different religions came together to fight for one cause. It united the people of India. It made them feel that they belonged to one country and not to a number of kingdoms. And it made them want to free the country from foreign rule. The Indians formed organizations to protest against the British, and one such organization, the Indian National Congress, played an important role in many movements. A movement means people get together to do things needed to get what they want. Now let's learn about the leaders of the Congress. The sessions of the INC were held every year. Some of the Congress presidents who presided over the meetings of the INC were eminent people like Dada Bhai Naoroji, Gopal Krishna Gokhale and S.N. Banerjee. Badruddin Tayyabji and Firoz Shah Mehta were other prominent leaders of Congress at that time. These leaders had a moderate outlook. They believed that reforms would take place gradually and that the British sense of justice would prevail. The INC also demanded police policies that were beneficial for Indians, provided jobs to Indians in the British Indian government, and made sure that Indians enjoyed better living conditions. However, the peaceful approach of these leaders failed as the British were not willing to pay any heed to them. They kept exploiting the Indian masses. This brought forth a new group of leaders in the Congress leaders such as Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandrapal and Lala Lajpat Rai, who felt that the need to involve the common people of India in the freedom struggle. Tilak demanded self-rule for the Indians and said, "Swaraj is my birthright and I shall have it." These leaders were called assertive nationalists. Now, spirit of nationalism. Partition of Bengal. The feeling of nationalism was strengthening in India. This became a source of anxiety for the British and they adopted the policy of divide and rule. On 20th July 1905, the partition of Bengal was announced by Lord Curzon and then the Viceroy of India. One part of Bengal was to have Muslims in a majority and the other was to have a Hindu majority. This was done so that the unity among the Hindus and Muslims could be broken. Now next is Swadeshi and boycott. Indian people were not happy with the British. After the partition of Bengal, the INC launched the Swadeshi and boycott movement. People were asked to boycott goods made in Britain and buy goods which were made in their own country, Swadeshi. Bonfires of British goods, especially clothes, were held in several parts of India. The movement spread from Bengal to other parts of the country like Pune, Mumbai and Chennai, and a large number of college women participated in this movement. The British tried their best to crush the movement by mercilessly beating the protesters. Finally, the British reunited Bengal in 1911 because of the continued protest against the unfair partition. Now, the revolutionaries. Revolutionaries were the people who believed that the British rulers should be treated in the same way in which they treated the Indians. They believed that the British could be driven away by using forces and they were ready to sacrifice their lives for their motherland. They killed many British officers. However, most of the revolutionary leaders were punished severely and even put to death. Some of the prominent revolutionaries were Bhagat Singh, Rajguru, Udham Singh, Khudiram Bose, Veer Savarkar, Sukhdev, Aurobindo Ghosh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Masterda Surya Sen, Batukeshwar Dutt and Ajit Singh. Now Gandhiji's childhood. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born on 2nd October 1869 in Porbandar, Gujarat. As a child, Gandhiji was very shy and avoided the company of his classmates. He was an average student, and Gandhiji's book and lessons were his sole companions. He never lied either to his teachers or to his schoolmates. Gandhiji was deeply inspired by the stories of Shravan and Raja Harishchandra. When Gandhiji was in high school, Mr. Giles, the education inspector, had come for an inspection during the exams. He asked the students to write 5 words as a spelling exercise. One of the words was kettle, and Gandhiji had misspelled it. His teacher prompted him to copy the spelling from his neighbor's slate, but Gandhiji did not do so. Everyone got the spellings correct except Gandhiji. Now, another topic is First World War. When the First World War broke out in 1914, many Indian soldiers were sent along with the British soldiers to fight the war. In addition, the British government imposed heavy taxation on the Indians to recover the losses incurred during the World War. The British continued with their strategy of divide and rule policy, which based on religious lines, and this led to the formation of the Muslim League in 1906. Now next is the coming of Mahatma. After his university education, Gandhiji went to London to become a barrister. After his training, he went to South Africa to work in a law firm. Gandhiji was surprised to see the treatment of the black people at the hands of the minority white population. He stayed in South Africa for almost 20 years and was sent to prison many times. He protested against the domination of the whites and fought for the basic rights of the blacks, including some Indian immigrants. Gandhiji returned to India in 1915. He came back and went around the country to see the conditions that the common people of India were facing. He encouraged the people to fight the British through Satyagraha. It means devotion to truth, and Ahimsa. It means non-violence. He traveled to various parts of India and realized that the society was divided on the basis of caste system. There were poverty, illiteracy, untouchability, and the people were being exploited by the British. Gandhiji realized that in order to gain independence from the British, it was important to unite the Indians. He enjoyed tremendous following amongst the Indian masses as millions from various sections of the society joined his cause. He strongly opposed social evils such as untouchability. Now next topic is Khilafat movement. This movement was started initially by Muslim leaders against the British. Following the events of the First World War, the British before the war had promised the Muslims that the powers of the Sultan of Turkey will not be taken away after the war, so that they would support them during the war. But after the war ended, they broke their promise in the First World War. Turkey had fought against the British, and the Sultan of Turkey was the Caliph, or the supreme religious leader of all Muslims in the world. So when the British went back on their word, the Muslims were really angry with them and began the Khilafat movement. Another topic is Jallianwala Bagh. In 1919, the British passed a new law called the Rowlatt Act. Under this act, any person could be arrested and imprisoned without a trial. Gandhiji and the other Congress leaders asked the people to oppose the law and hold meetings and demonstrations. On 13th April 1919, a peaceful public meeting was organized in the Jallianwala Bagh and in Amritsar. Thousands of men, women and children attended the meeting. General Dyer blocked the only exit of the park and asked his troops to open fire at the crowd. Thousands were killed, including women and children, and the country was shocked, and Gandhiji concluded that India should demand complete independence or Purn Swaraj. So children, today we will learn up to this much, and in the next session we will learn other topics, and so you all take care of yourself. Goodbye.